teams with their crazy amounts of burst pressure, and they even took a game off of the undefeated Cloud9 in this tournament. But what can they do against the mighty Tempo Storm? We're going to find out here next. Just a reminder, everybody, right after this series, we're going to be doing that hoodie giveaway from Jinx. I'm going to tell you guys the keyword to put into chat, and that will make you eligible for that giveaway. But you also need to be following the stream, so make sure you hit that follow button to be eligible to get that free hoodie giveaway. Now, it isn't just any hoodie. It's whatever hoodie you want off of the website. So this hoodie giveaway is going to be a code, which you choose what hoodie you want to pick. And if you want to see the different options available, go ahead and click that link below. God comp mirrors. You guys think it's going to be Tempo Storm versus Cloud9? Alright guys, how about this? Who do you think is going to win this next series? This is Donut versus Tempo Storm. Go ahead and just...
You know what?
What do you think?
If Jamili chokes, he's definitely going to lose.
Oh, if Jamili chokes, he's definitely going to lose. Shots have been fired?
Maybe a little bit.
Guys, you don't even know what the keyword's gonna be. You don't even know what the keyword's gonna be, but here we go. It's the Grand Arena. It's Donut versus Tempo Storm. And DJ Peekaboo, Jamili, and Elite have been getting a lot of game time, it would seem, on this Holy Paladin God comp. But, you know, Peekaboo's got to be feeling pretty good about running that Shadow Priest now, adding that additional composition to his team, because it's been a very, very good asset to their team moving into these tournaments. But now Donut running with the Feral's Druid instead of the Windwalker Monk. Do you think that's going to give them an advantage or disadvantage against this Holy Pally God comp?
I think they're disadvantaged with the Feral Druid. It seems much easier to kill. He obviously can't just portal back behind the pillar, kite to the opposite side of the map, heal himself back up. He's kind of forced to stay all in. So it makes the matchup very quick, and it really just relies on how Elite manages his cooldowns and how Jamili and Peekaboo can support him. If Elite manages his cooldowns well, Peekaboo and Jamili support him, I'm sure that he shouldn't go down very easily. So let's see if Donut can find us any surprises here in game number one. Jeff getting rooted now into the Polymorph, deep freeze over onto Kappa, and already CC being thrown out by Tempo Storm, but they don't manage to get the sheep. Actually, now getting the sheep, Jeff appears to be the primary target. He's going to anti-magic shell almost immediately to deal with the initial burst from Tempo Storm, now kiting back to the pillar. Looks like he wants to go on to Elite, gripping him to the pillar here, caught onto that bash. What do they have to follow it up? Doesn't look like any more stuns are going to follow it up. Foxy looking for a clone, but he actually gets rebuked by Elite. Jeff in trouble with no AMS. His Save of the Light's going to proc, pops that Icebound Fortitude as well to reduce some damage. Kappa forced to pop his Avenging Wrath. This is going to end pretty quick, and it is not looking good for Donut.
Not at all, man. Icebound Fortitude already being used. Jeff's just getting polyed up over and over and over again, and Donut has not found any offensive pressure yet. Deep freeze on the Kappa, Hodge on the Foxy. Jeff is all alone. Devouring Plagues landing onto him. Horrifying the Foxy as the Polymorphs ghosts go over and over into Kappa. Jeff dipping lower and lower. Wings execution sentence coming out from Kappa. It's going to top Jeff off for now. But I mean, these guys just can't seem to get anything done. But here's the Incarnation Berserk coming out from Foxy. He's going to force the bubble. Peekaboo actually getting hodged up. Going to get dispelled by Elite when he bubbles. And that Berserk Incarnation will be fading here very, very shortly. They're going to jump right back onto Elite. Elite actually getting interrupted on that cast without a bubble available to him. This is a very scary moment. This is the opportunity that Donut needs to land something here. But Jeff in a lot of trouble, forced to AMS in the back foot as Kappa's being put through the CC chain. He tried to
soloed.
Is he going to get soloed? There's the Wings execution sentence, going to top himself off. A-okay for now. Jeff still on the back foot over and over and over again. Kappa has that bubble now available to him, but all of a sudden, because of that interrupt, I feel like Donut has found their way back into this game.
Yeah, we can see Elite's kiting away. Jeff's desperately trying to connect, but he's getting polymorphed up by Jamili. There's the Fist of Justice onto Elite. He trinkets that almost immediately. We can see a setup onto Jeff, though, with double CC onto Foxy and Kappa. No damage just yet, though. Elite actually getting Mind Frozen on his heel. Now he's able to free cast, though. Foxy not able to connect just yet. Double Fear onto Kappa and Foxy. Jeff forced to AMS. Jeff going all in, though, onto Elite right now. He knows that he needs to force more cooldowns. He knows that this game can't go into the late stages. Now a silence onto Jeff, a silence onto Kappa. He pops that execution since he's trying to heal through the damage. Peekaboo getting cloned up, forced to trinket. Still quite a bit of pressure onto Elite. How are they going to deal with it? Jeff getting pressured as well. Half Hodge onto Elite. Deep freeze over onto Kappa. Hodge over onto Foxy. Kappa's forced to bubble. He's trying to keep him alive. Keep the aggression rolling onto Elite. Polymorphs onto Jeff. Elite's going to hold on to his bops for a little bit longer. Good peels out from Jamili. Elite now able to kite. Foxy sees it. He's going to retreat back. Jeff not afraid of anything, though. Just charging out onto Jamili. He knows that he wants to end this game. Chasing right after Elite after that.
Yep, there's the grip bash going out on Elite. He's just going to go ahead and bop it right off, but can Jeff get that bop off to continue the pressure? Kappa, though, without anything besides a trinket, is a little bit scared. There's the deep freeze on to Kappa, Hodge on to Foxy. Jeff taking a bit of pressure as his healers put through the full polymorph, but he wants to stay out. He wants to connect to Elite with this Pillar of Frost. Devouring Plate going out onto Jeff is going to force him defensive here at this point. Kappa being put into the Frost Nova now. The grip onto Elite, back in line of sight of his healer, but he can't push out too far, and it looks like Jeff and Foxy have been forced defensive for now. Another bop and another wings available for Elite for the next setup. There's the cross CC of the Cyclone going out onto Peekaboo as Foxy reconnects back over onto Elite. Jeff trying to intervene with it at the same time, but the Fear Hodge is going to go out the Horrifying to Jeff. Surely this will be Jeff's death. And just kidding, he has that AMS available to him. He's going to go ahead and pop that in line of sight and wait for his heal to get out of it, but the AMS gets ripped through from those Ice Novas of Jamili. The half polymorph lands. Can they follow it up with any more CC? That would be the end of Jeff. The Frost Shell lands. Do they have the damage onto Jeff? Foxy coming back and putting Jamili into that full Cyclone, peeling for his Deathknight to heal once again, but every single second that goes by is more and more defensive cooldowns that come available to Elite when Foxy and Jeff can reconnect once again.
Oh, actually, Incarnation being blown. Elite only has this trinket. He's going to trinket right away out of the Fist of Justice. Now throw a Fist of Justice of his own onto Foxy. It looks like they're going to be swapping to him. Now caught into the Horrify. He's going to trinket with that Survival Instincts. He actually has quite a bit of healing with that Nature's Vigil. He should be able to survive this. He's pressuring Jamili. He locked him on Frost, but Elite with that Avenging Wrath is healing through all the damage like it's easy. Jamili building out some icicles. Actually cold snapping for another block here. Went for that counter spell. I think that he got faked, though. Actually locked the clone of Foxy, trying to interrupt some CC instead, but that means that Kappa will be able to free cast. They grip Elite in. They're looking to try and force a bop here with that full bash. Will they get it is the question. There's the bop out from Elite. Jeff should be looking to try and purge. He purges it off. A lot of pressure still falling up onto Elite. He gets a heal in between the CCs. He gets the stone form for the strangulate. Now rotating the pressure back onto Jeff with a full sheep over onto Kappa. Jeff caught into the Horrify. He's going to trinket Icebound Fortitude. He's desperately clinging onto life. He has no AMS to reduce any magic damage. Good peels out from Foxy onto Jamili, but Jamili actually is going to trinket out and lock the next clone. We can see Lichborn out from Jeff. He's trying to get whatever extra healing he can, or Mastery out from Kappa. He connects the heal and saves his life.
Yep, and Jeff is alive once again through the setup. And there's the grip Hodge out onto Elite. He doesn't have stone for him from this one for the silence. He gets gripped back by Peekaboo out into the middle of the map. Jeff wants to follow him, though. He wants to follow him so bad, but he's going to pull back for now. He knows he's super vulnerable, but that AMS just came available to him. Maybe they want to utilize that to push out. We're at 3% dampening at this point, and both of these healers are going to start feeling that moving forward. There's the triple fear coming out into the Hodge on Foxy. Horrifying to Jeff. Going to force the AMS. Deep freeze onto Kappa to follow it up. And Jeff is just hitting Jamili right now behind the pillar, trying to force him off of his pillar so he's not taking all that pressure. But there's the grip Hodge once again onto Elite. Whole bunch of damage coming out. It's going to get mass dispelled by Peekaboo to follow it up with a bash into a silence. No Aura Mastery, no Stormform. He's just going to go use that Aura Mastery. Wings Execution Sentence going to heal him up again. And I don't know if Donut's setup is their grip, their Hodge, their stun setup is getting enough defensive cooldowns to make it worth it over and over. But they are getting buttons. But now Elite's bubble is available right now.
Foxy getting set up on dangerously low here. No trigger for one more second, down to 25% HP. How is he going to stay alive? 1% HP, not enough to stay afloat. And Tempo Storm devour the donut in game number 1.
They devour the donut. I love that. The donut has been devoured. And there you have it, Tempo Storm. Taking game number 1 versus Donut here in the semifinals of the lower bracket. Both of these teams are fighting for their opportunity to get to the finals to face Cloud9. And here we go. We're going to be jumping into the next game very, very shortly. I love Tempo Storm's ability and versatility to be able to change that kill target up to whatever they wanted. And here we go. We're going to be jumping into the next game very shortly.
I don't know. I feel like the Feral DK comp's going to have a really rough time. I have a feeling that balance just isn't home. Maybe he's still away on the holidays, so
it's possible.
That's why he's not able to play. Cause I think they would sub him in at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the Feral DK definitely seems disadvantaged, even more disadvantaged than the Windwalker DK. But I mean, their mobility is pretty crazy, and their 2 walls. They have the defensives to deal with it, but I don't know. I think that I just don't think it's the same as Windwalker DK. But even that composition is very difficult. But here we go. This might be the factor that they needed to turn it around. It's Ruins of Lordaeron. See you guys in a hot minute. All right, here we go. It's Donut versus Tempo Storm here in the semifinals of the lower bracket. Both these teams fighting for their opportunity to make it to those finals. Donut actually getting knocked down in the semifinals by Cloud9, forcing them to play this additional series against Tempo Storm. And getting knocked down like this might be the end of them. It looks like Tempo Storm is, I don't know. It seems like they're pretty advantaged here, and we're on Ruins of Lordaeron though. If they can if they can win against Tempo Storm, it's on this map.
And you can see Jeff charging forward, not afraid of death whatsoever. Getting sheeped up, though, by Jamili, trying to slow down his advance here. Kappa caught into the deep freeze. Jamili connecting the sheep. Elite is going to be the opening target, but a double fear peels off the DPS. Jeff is the target still, is forced to use that anti-magic shell, reducing a lot of the magic damage incoming to him. Now popping that Pillar of Frost, trying to get a big increase of burst, but he's just not connecting to anyone. He grips Elite forward, but he's still in a bit of trouble here. Kappa caught into that Frost Jaw. Avenging Wrath comes out for Kappa. He should be able to deal with this damage now with that. Elite still kind of dangerously low here. I'm not sure where that Fist of Justice went. Maybe he accidentally stunned that into immunity onto Elite. Now the full bash onto Elite regardless, forcing his wall. Foxy looking for a clone, not able to get it. Gets silenced on it. Kappa caught into that full fear. A lot of damage following it up onto Jeff with that Comet Storm. He's still down dangerously low. Full sheep on the Kappa. He actually pre-sacrificed, but he still bubbled. I don't know if he noticed it, but now he's down his bubble as a result. And once again, Donut is not looking good.
No, they're not. That bubble is a big deal. And Jeff moving forward, he has that Icebound form time, and he has that AMS, but those cooldowns are going to be forced very, very quickly. Actually, Denounce getting interrupted on Elite, and that's going to force the bubble off of him as well. So they are getting those defensive cooldowns regardless, but now Jeff in a bit of trouble. Going to force that AMS out as Kappa's put into that half polymorph. Jeff's AMS is going to fade as Kappa's put into that full fear. This might be it for Kappa. Even Denounce is coming out from Elite onto Jeff, but now they're going to reconnect onto Elite. Aura Mastery coming out on that silence. Peekaboo going to go ahead and grip up Elite as well. There's no bubble available to him. He's still on forbearance for those bops as well. He does have that trinket available to him, but he's trying to hold on to it as best he can. He actually jukes Foxy's kick, so nice job by Elite to be able to free cast at this point. Silence out on a Jeff. Deep freeze on a Kappa. It's going to force the AMS yet again, and Elite is going to be reconnected to by both these melee DPS, doing a great job rotating through his defensive cooldowns to try to survive, to try to give his team the opportunity to kill Jeff. Full polymorph lambs on the Kappa. Saved by the Light's going to proc onto Jeff. Elite actually getting gripped back, but Jeff knows he's in trouble. He's going to pull back and give Elite that breathing room to be able to keep himself alive for now. And Kappa now finally out of the CC, going to give an execution sentence to Jeff. Big damage going out onto Jamili. And Jamili's going to be forced back, and it looks like Donut is going to stay in their position behind the pillar for now. And no bubble available for Elite for 4 more minutes. Could be the opportunity that Donut needs. There's the grip. There's the Hodge onto Elite. Whole bunch of damage going out onto him at this point. But Kappa in the background getting full polymorphed up. Master Spell from Peekaboo is going to free up Elite. There's a silence going out into Elite as well. I think the Master Spell actually might have gotten stolen by Jeff. I'm not 100% sure. But Foxy getting swapped to Devouring Plague. He's going to stealth to try to survive here. Tricky coming out from Kappa as well. Jeff being put through the polymorph, and it looks like Tempo Storm has all the momentum in their favor. Peekaboo actually getting defensively bashed there from Foxy. Now they're swapping the damage right over onto Jeff, forcing AMS and forcing him back as well. And Tempo Storm just says, yeah, feel free to come out and attack our Paladin. We'll just mess you up even more. Deep freeze goes out onto Kappa. Nothing to follow it up just yet as Jamili is getting attacked by Jeff. Silence goes out onto Jeff as well. Devouring Plague. Denounce is even coming in from Elite. They want to end it right here, right now onto Jeff, and down he goes. Temple Storm taking game number 2 on Donut's map choice.
Yeah, I don't know really what they can do. I mean, I don't know if Kappa plays any alts or something, or they can change the comp, but this doesn't look very good. I wouldn't volunteer myself into this matchup.
I mean, we've seen that time and time again is not having those multiple compositions available to you, and you run into a potential counter, and you really need to be able to adapt accordingly. And it appears that Donut just doesn't have an answer for Tempo Storm's God Comp. But here we go. We're going to be jumping into game number 3 very, very shortly here, and this potentially could be match point for Donut as they are down 2-0.
Not looking good for the Donut, dude.
Not looking good for the Donut. Make sure to give Donut all of your energy if you want them to be able to qualify for the finals to face Cloud9 once again. Or give all your energy to Peekaboo, Jamili, and Tempo Storm if you want to see a Tempo Storm in the finals as well. You're going to have to give someone your energy. You might as well pick one, right?
And that's not true at all. I mean, you could choose to just keep it. Maybe you just don't like either team.
That's just so selfish. Don't be selfish with your energy, guys.
What if they like Cloud9? I don't
The
know.
holiday
Maybe
season.
they're saving it.
Oh, that's true.
I
If you
mean,
like Cloud9, make sure to save all your energy. That's a fair evaluation. But it's Donut versus Tempo Storm in the lower bracket semifinals. This best of 5 series here. Tempo Storm up 2-0, and Donut up for elimination here in GPL number 3. So let me just go over real quick with you guys to how GPL actually works. Every tournament gives players opportunity to win some cash, but also some GPL points GCD points to be able to qualify for that final tournament in January. So all of these teams have been coming back and playing over and over again to earn their spot in the finals, which will have a $2,000 prize pool. So I can't wait to check that out, but it's after tournament number 5. After tournament number 5, we will be having our finals, and we have these tournaments bi-weekly. So yeah, make sure to hit that follow button so you're notified when we go live right here at GCD TV. And I believe we're also going to be having a Queue Up talk show next Saturday and Sunday at times to be determined. So make sure to follow us on Twitter to be notified or to keep up to date with all the cool stuff that we're going to be doing. So I can't wait to talk about some more WoW esports next weekend, but the finals are still tonight. And don't forget, guys, we have our Jinx hoodie giveaway, so stick around right here on GCD TV. Donut's going to go ahead and use some of their delay timer, maybe to strategize, maybe to change their composition up. I don't know. We're going to find out here very, very shortly.
Maybe they're trying to get balance.
Balance.
Like, hey, I know you're at your grandma's house, but does she still have that 1998 computer? Can you play that?
Windows 1998.
I don't know.
I like your hat, Supa. I think it looks good.
My hat. You're the one that put it on.
I think I'm just gonna keep it there forever. What do you think?
That's not fair. I'm not Super Santa.
You're not Supa Santa?
No.
Whoa. Thank you, Meshy Man, for that subscription, man. You are my 142nd subscriber. Thank you, dude. I really do appreciate that, buddy. And every sub helps the cause, keeps us doing what we're doing here. So I really do appreciate it, everybody. And at 200 subscribers, no less, we do also have that 1v1 All-Star Tournament. So just to go into that a little bit, it's not going to be 1v1 any class versus any class. It's going to be 1v1s class specific. So it's going to be mages versus mages. Don't you guys want to see a Jamili versus Zarya rematch? I know I do. And of course, there's other classes as well, like Feral Druids, Windwalker Monks, whole bunch of awesome 1v1 tournaments. I can't wait to actually see how that goes. It might actually be really, really interesting. I don't know. I'm excited to see that.
You have permission to put a fedora on my head?
I have permission to put a fedora on your head?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, did you really just say that? Alright. Yeah, by the way, that sub goal is actually voted by you guys on Twitter. So we're going to be doing sub goals, and we're going to be giving you the option to determine what you want our sub goal to be via Twitter. So if you want to be part of what it is our next sub goal is going to be, make sure to follow us on Twitter so you can get involved with that. Do EU teams get a chance to join the tournament? They absolutely do. The only thing that we ask teams from other regions to do if they're going to compete in this tournament is to obviously have a level 100 character on North American regions and stuff like that, but also have a high enough rating to be eligible to compete. Now, we don't have a specific rating requirement. We just take the top 15 teams. So if there's an EU player with a high rating on the NA ladder, they absolutely are eligible to compete. We would never stop that.
Yeah, you would. You know that you would win. You're afraid.
No, get away from it. I have an SK Gaming hat, okay? Given to me by none other than Joe Fernandez, which I'm very proud of. So
you stole it.
I did not steal it, man. I did not steal it. I actually just got this new hat for Christmas, the Overwatch hat, just to give you guys a little bit of foreshadowing of our future. That's right, we'll be doing some Overwatch tournaments, I'm sure, at one point. Alright, the map that's going to be chosen by Donut is going to be... Is that recent, Hannah? I can't tell.
Yeah.
Is going to be Dalaran Sewers. Okay. So, I mean, they're going to bring it to another small map, see what they can do. Maybe they can make something happen with the... We just got a new sub. Thank you so much, Wolfskin7. I really appreciate that, man. You are the 143rd subscriber. Thank you, bro, and welcome to the team, Wolfskin. But here we go. We're going to be jumping into the next game of this series. It's Dalaran Sewers. All right, welcome to Dollar and Sewers. It's Donut versus Tempo Storm. Donut now on the ropes of elimination because of the mighty and great and powerful Tempo Storm. And you have to give credit where credit's due. I'm always a fan of giving credit out. But Tempo Storm has had a hell of a bracket so far, or at least a hell of a ride to get here. They faced Naj in the very first round of the lower bracket, getting knocked down there, and then they had a 3-2 series against him. So they have fought their way to get to this point, and they are not going to be giving it up without a fight. Donut looking to take on Cloud9 once again here, but they have to get through Tempo Storm here in the lower bracket. Here we go. Hodge going out on to Foxy, and Kappa actually getting interrupted into a full fear. They're swapping that pressure right over onto Jeff with that Devouring Plague. Peekaboo actually getting defensively bashed up, and it looks like Jamili might be the kill target for Donut for now, just trying to push him back as Kappa's being put through all of those CCs. Regardless of getting that pressure, Kappa's actually going to go through all 3 defensive polymorphs. And there's a silence going out onto Foxy as he takes a bit of pressure. That's going to force his first wall out at this point. But Saber the Light actually proccing on Jamili, but he's still holding on to both of those blocks. And Donut has a lot of work to do. Incarnation Berserk coming out from Foxy, forcing to disperse onto Peekaboo right away. He's actually going to get cloned up at 50% health here. Maybe they can rotate that clone over onto Elite and go right back over onto Peekaboo. I don't know if Foxy can get that off, but Peekaboo's still taking a whole bunch more pressure. He's going to pull back for now as they force Jeff. Defensive Devouring Plate going out. Kappa put into that polymorph. Jeff's just going to line of sight. He's going to grip in Jamili on his cast, try to interrupt him a little bit. Jeff might be in a bit of trouble here. He's trying to hold on to that AMF. He's trying to hold on to that Icebound Fortitude, and Kappa's going to leave the CC, and Jeff should be A-okay for now. Both teams playing relatively patient, I'd say.
Yeah, Donut's playing a lot differently in this match. They're not just going after Elite, actually going after Peekaboo and trying to CC Elite. So, interesting strategy change from Donut. Let's see if it proves to be useful. Peekaboo getting gripped back. A stolen sheep landed full onto Elite. Can they get anything done with it? Doesn't look like they can, even though Peekaboo set to that bash, actually targeting Jamili now instead. He has both blocks. He should be all right. They're turning the pressure around on Foxy here. Kappa bubbling the CC and dispelling that Fist of Justice. Really good reaction from Kappa. Now they can stay aggressive here on Peekaboo or Jamili. Looks like they're splitting for now, actually. Foxy looking for a clone. Clone Jamili's on his blink. I wonder if they're going to grip Jamili down or something here since he has no blink. Maybe some cheeky play from Jeff. Doesn't look like he's going to do it just yet. Pulling back to the pillar. Peekaboo charging forward, looking for a fear. Lands a full fear onto Kappa. Full sheep on the Jeff, but Foxy's in stealth, and they can't find the right target. They're forced to hit Jeff, and Jeff's like, sure, I'm fine with that.
Hey, I'm a Deathknight. What's up? It looks like Foxy's going to reopen, but get fully hodged on that deep polymorph on Kappa in the background. It's a full polymorph Horrify going on to Foxy, but he did get that wall off before that Horrify. His last wall, however, even Denounce is coming in from Elite. And just look where Tempo Storm is positioned, just forcing Donut behind this pillar over and over again. I feel like they're playing a much more conservative, much more defensive game this time around, and I'm not sure if that's the answer to beat the great, mighty Tempo Storm. But here we go. It looks like Peekaboo and Jamili are going to try to go and push in once again. Every single time they push in, they seem to get a defensive cooldown. Peekaboo looking for that fear. Gets the fear onto Jeff and onto Kappa. Though Foxy still in stealth, avoiding all the setup. They're just going to hodge up Kappa and go on to him. Denounce is flying in from Elite. Whole bunch of pressure going in onto him. He's going to sit that full hodge. Save by the Light's going to proc. Silence onto Elite. Deep freeze after the trinket. And he's still taking a whole bunch of pressure. There's the Frost Shot going out onto him as well. And that's going to force the Aura Mastery, and he should be okay. But that was a very scary moment for the bubbleless and the trinketless Kappa. But here we go. The full Cyclone's going to land onto Elite, and Foxy and Jeff are connecting onto Peekaboo once again. Maybe overextending a little bit. Full Polymorph lands onto Jeff. He's going to get out of it right away, and Elite's wings are going to be fading very, very shortly, but I have to think that Donut might be overstaying their welcome, pushed out this far. Jeff taking a whole bunch of pressure, getting down to 40% health here. He's going to get silenced up. Hodge goes out on the Kappa. He has no way out of it. Fear on the Foxy. Jeff is all alone. Once again, he's trying to line of sight. He's trying to heal up. AMS going to be used by Jeff as Kappa's put into another Polymorph. Jamili getting gripped back, preventing the last polymorph, but he gets it anyway, and I think he actually got broken out of that last one. Saber the Light procking for Jeff. He might not be out of the water just yet, and Foxy trying to get aggressive, turning it around with this Incarnation. Stun goes out onto Elite, and it looks like they want to connect maybe onto Peekaboo, but Foxy getting interrupted on that Cyclone, and it looks like they're going to set up into him, but this Incarnation Berserk's about to fall, and he got literally nothing done with it.
Yeah, unfortunately, Foxy wasn't able to connect. Tempo Storm did a good job of crowd controlling him. You can see Foxy leaping forward, but he might have just leaped into his death. Fist of Justice right now. Kappa's forced to bubble, trying to pick him back up here and keep his aggression. Looks like Jamili's going to be the target for now. They're just trying to prevent him from getting any CC. Foxy's pleasantly going to knock Jamili back. pull back to the pillar. Jeff as well pulling back here. Tempo Storm sees this retreat. They're pushing forward. They could take Kappa down. He's got no trinket, no bubble. It seems like they don't want to, though. They're going to go after Jeff. Jeff caught in the Horrify, unable to AMS down into double death range, but Peekaboo got bashed. Foxy peeling for his team excellently right now. Unfortunately, now eating that full fist of justice. Jeff is once again alone, trying to line aside Kappa into the sheep, into a 1 second sheep. I don't think there's any more CC. Now Frost actually to follow it up. Peekaboo trying to solo Jeff in the backside of this. Jeff actually popping the Pillar of Frost to counter Peekaboo back. He's doing a good job. Peekaboo in retreat now. Elite getting cloned up. Elite actually forced a trinket. Peekaboo's dipping low. Elite gets strangulated on his trinket. Still a lot of pressure onto both players. Jimmy and Peekaboo down low. Peekaboo actually missed his Master Spell, or Elite just dodged it to be cheeky or something, but they are going to survive that attack.
I like that. I hope that he dodged it to be cheeky. He's like, I'll show you to try to get me out of that silence, Peekaboo. But Jeff taking a bit of damage as well. Pulling back to his pillar with his trusty Holy Paladin. Elite actually getting Frostjaw or slowed up by Jeff. He doesn't want Elite to push up. He doesn't want the Hodge to come in. But the fear is going to land from Peekaboo on a Kappa full. And Jeff could be vulnerable here. He has that AMS available to him once again. But we're at 5% dampening here. And that AMS is considered an absorb. And it will be negated a little bit by that 5% dampening. Kappa with his wings up is going to keep his team completely offensive here, but with a bubble and a block and a disperse all available for Tempo Storm, they got to be feeling very confident moving forward into this game. Silence on the Foxy. Looks like they're going to just do a little bit of damage onto him, and whenever one of these players peek their head out, they get damage from all of these players. Hodge onto Elite though, grip onto Peekaboo. Looks like Donut is trying to get aggressive onto these guys. Peekaboo's just going to go ahead and trinket and get the double fear though. Hodge goes out into Foxy to follow it up onto him. A whole bunch of damage. Double Ice Nova going to land. And down Foxy goes. And Tempo Storm is going to take the final game of this best of 5 series and earn their way to face Cloud9 in the finals.
Yeah, despite losing early on in the tournament and being very close to elimination in the initial rounds, they made it all the way through to the finish line. They are the dark horse of the tournament. Can they make it all the way? And I'm sure it's going to be a Wally Wizard Wonderland grand finals for you guys. Unfortunately for myself, I do have to depart, so the corny, cringy commentary will be alleviated temporarily. Otherwise, D-Machine will have to compensate and rise his cringe levels.
I have to rise the cringe, man.
The final series, but I do have to leave, guys, so I hope you guys enjoy the finals, and we'll see you next time, or at least I will see you next time. Stream's on any.
Shout out.
Thank you guys for inviting me to cast, and
all right, quick